This is a religious show in a way. At least we talk about God on this show.
Okay.
I am interested in this because we've never had this discussion, at least not in length, in full. How did you guys used to think about God first in high school? I want to know what you guys thought about God in high school. Because I'll tell you this, like, I used to think about God on a personal basis, but never mention it in front of others, like in front of my peers. Because it was just weird. Why would you mention God in front of your peers, especially if you're trying to have fun? And I've always been curious, and especially you guys were my peers.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been curious what you guys thought about God yourselves. Were you guys also personally thinking about God on your own time in high school? Starting off in high school, and then we'll talk about college after.
Well, mine has to start before high school.
Okay.
Because I was raised Christian, and I went to church every Sunday, Sunday school. Did that with my 3 older brothers for a long time. But after a while, we kind of just stopped going to church. And I haven't been very religious ever since probably like 7th grade. We just stopped going.
Well, remove religion out of that. I don't. People always do that. It's either like as soon as I say God, people put religion. Like remove religion out of it. Just the theory.
Formal religion, anyway.
Yeah, at least formal religions. The idea of God, the idea of there being an entity that controls and sees everything.
Gotcha.
And has created this world, which is a crazy idea.
Well, I would say in high school, I probably didn't think about it very much. Like
If
just,
at all.
Just one of those things that rarely passed my mind. You know, like if I was having a rough day, I'd be like, "I'm sorry, God," but like it's not very many. Something I would rarely think about. But after going to like as I got a little older, I do believe in some sort of higher power.
Why is that though? Why didn't you think about it before?
I don't know. It's just not something that would ever really cross my mind.
It wouldn't even cross it. It's
Not
not
really.
even that. It would cross it and then you'd be like, nah, let me not think about that.
No, it might have been a little bit of that.
Like the Christian religious community that what is it, Catholic?
It's like I don't even know.
Huh.
Like non-orthodox. It's just Christian.
Denominational.
Yeah, non-denominational.
Okay.
Denominational.
What about you, Gus?
I mean, I was, same thing, I went to church a lot as a kid. Sunday school the whole bit. We kind of stopped going for most of middle school and stuff, some of high school, but then we got back into a church. I got confirmed in the Episcopal church, but haven't been in a while. I don't know that I ever really thought about it a whole lot, other than it kind of just was. I never questioned it. It just, the way I was raised, this is right, this is exactly how it is. But it's also, I don't know how it is in Islam, but yes, God is all powerful, but he doesn't interfere. He doesn't play any role in your day-to-day life.
At least that's the branch of Christianity that you believe in. That
No,
says
but
that?
it's
Or is that? Are you saying
there is free will,
right?
And so he's not. They say, oh, God has a plan, but he's not. You're not driving down the road and the light turns red and you run it and
Jesus
God's like, oh, stop the car so it doesn't hit you. There's none of that. But yeah, so it never really like, I wasn't like, oh, like, not until probably later, towards the end of college or high school, I guess I was questioning it. But now I've kind of landed on just like, I don't know who's right. I think there is more to this life than we're just here and we turn to dirt. But I can't say I know what it is, and I think anybody who says that, like, I don't know how you can possibly say you know exactly what's up, because there's Christianity, there's Islam, there's Judaism, there's Hindu, Buddha, and then all those small ones that exist. Like, how can you say you know who's right and who's wrong?
I think it's also kind of a myth that there's an abundance of religion that you can choose from. I think there's mainly 5, really. Like, Can you search that up real quick?
There's 5 major.
What are the 5?
So it's Christianity, Islam.
So you want
Judaism.
the number of recognized religions officially? 221.
Really?
Yeah.
So,
the Church
At least
of
that
the
are-
Church of the Spaghetti Monsters.
Yeah.
rated.
So that are. I think that's just the figure that is recognized by the military, but it is 221 religions.
And most of them are local or folk.
The Sleeping Foundation Chapel.
Oh, right there. Go back.
Do you guys want to get it from Wiki though?
Right there.
Yeah, I mean it's better than the National Sleep Foundation.
Christianity.
So Christianity is 31.1. I mean, this is true though, because Islam is 24.9. Then unaffiliated is next, and then Hinduism. I think Hinduism's over unaffiliated though. And
What are they defining unaffiliated as?
So that's what I meant by the 5 major religions, and then Judaism's also in there, but Judaism's like there's only a couple million Jews in the world.
Really?
Yeah, there's.
They don't want people to join.
So in reality, there's Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, and then I think all the other 4,200 those lie under folk religions and other religions.
Yeah.
But those are really the 4 main ones, as well as Judaism.
Yeah.
And Judaism doesn't want you,
Yeah.
right? And not because anything.
They just
genuinely
by birth.
Yeah, it's
for
by
the
birth
most part.
through the mother or the father.
Now, can you convert to Judaism?
You can.
You can, but
It's
they don't promote you to, and you're not considered like. It's not the same thing. You're not.
They don't go out like the Jehovah's Witness and say, "Come join us." You have to seek it out and make an actual effort to try to convert to Judaism.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. You took a fat rip of that jewel, and we're talking. The smoke was coming out of your mouth. I was like, dude, where'd you get that jewel?
Really, you've been handing it all the time.
Yeah.
But
I missed it.
so if you really think about it, you got Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, and Judaism, and then probably unaffiliated agnostic or atheist, I would say. And then Judaism doesn't want you, so that's out. And you got Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianity, and Islam. And then if you say that there's only, would you guys say that there's only one God, or do you think there might be multiple?
Do you like each religion worships kind of the same God?
No, like in general, without us talking about religion, would you guys say there's only one entity or multiple?
I would say there's probably only one.
Yeah.
Okay, so that takes out Hinduism, right? So really, you're only left with 3 options at the end, which is Christianity, Islam, and Buddhism. So this notion that there's like, oh, there's too much to choose from. It's too.
It's not that there's too much to choose from. I think it's more that, like, how can you say that? I know that there's only one, when all these other people think there's more than one, and then how do I know my thing's right and their thing is wrong?
Logic.
What logic is there?
But honestly, I'm kind of in that same field.
It's if it's logically consistent. For example, if they believe in one point that you know murder is not okay, then at other points they should also believe. Well, not that was a bad example, but it's logically consistent where it doesn't conflict.
But what logic is there that points to a singular entity that is God?
The logic that if there's a God, right, whether gods or God, the logic behind it is that if this world is created by a being, and this world is in order, right? Now, if you think of the idea of there being multiple gods, then those multiple gods each have their own personality, each have their own powers, and each have their own weaknesses and non-weaknesses, right? Each one of them has their strengths and weaknesses by default, because once you have multiple entities that are gods, then you'll have one that's very strong and one that's in the middle, and all these kind of things. And so then you have to say, okay, well, there's obviously set good and set bad in this world, right? Murder is bad, for example. It's not always.
Well, I think you can, yeah, like you were just about to say, you can justify just about anything.
So I think Socrates gave this argument before. This is one of the Socrates arguments against multiple gods, is that you can't define define justice and piety and goodness if there's multiple gods.
Because everybody has their own.
Yes, because the gods would conflict on what is just, what is pious, what is good. And once you have one set God, then it becomes, it's set, pious, and good. It's very obvious.
Okay.
Same thing with you would also find that gods would be fighting. Like this world would be kind of chaotic. The universe would be all over the place
when they disagreed.
Yeah. It's kind of like having multiple CEOs. I don't think there should be multiple CEOs. I don't think there should be multiple gods. It wouldn't make sense. There's usually a head leader.
One direction, one clear.
Hey, Brian, can you?
What's up?
Just do the thing again.
One direction, one clear vision. Okay, so sure. But there are conflicts between, just take Christianity and Islam. The rule sets are very different.
Not very different.
Okay,
There's
the basis of, okay, don't kill people, don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal.
No, a lot of it is similar.
Is similar, yeah.
Yeah.
But
you could actually say there's as many similarities, or
there's more similarities than differences for
yes,
sure.
Okay.
But don't drink. Don't eat pork. Pork's okay.
I would actually argue that in the original Christian text, it doesn't allow you to eat pork, and it doesn't allow you to drink.
It doesn't because it's technically dirty.
Yeah, but just as an example, pork's okay, pork's not okay.
But I'm saying even that example doesn't work because it's not true. Even I would say the hijab, I would argue that in original Christian text, it wanted women to cover it. That's why you find nuns wearing hijabs.
Which are you talking Old Testament?
And Jewish ladies wear hijabs too, ones that actually follow Judaism.
Orthodox Jews, yeah.
Yeah. So all three Abrahamic religions so far don't eat pork and wear hijabs and shouldn't drink.
So I guess that's fair. There are definitely more similarities and differences, but a lot of the rules seem to be manipulated by man.
Man? I mean, I would argue that's true for Christianity.
I'd say that's true for Islam as well.
Have you read Islam?
What value is there in wearing the hijab?
Okay, well, this is actually a huge topic.
Yeah, but just a summary of why women wear the hijab.
Okay, I mean, I'll try to do this as best as I can. And I'm not a scholar on hijab. I'm not a scholar on this, but from a normal Muslim talking about what a hijab is, and I'm also a dude, so I can't.
Yeah.
If you actually sat a Muslim girl down, she would be able to tell you so much more. One of the things, first of all, Muslims first of all say, it's because God said so. That's why we do it, but that's not a befitting answer.
That's a silly reason,
right? But that's number one reason, right? After that, then we can get into the specifics. For example, women are once a woman usually enters a room, like the vibe will change immediately. Like you guys would the vibe changes as soon as a girl enters the room. One of the things that hijab does is that it places the woman right at the level that a man is, because no longer can you sexualize her, no longer can you demean her, no longer can you look at her boobs. You know how girls always say, "Hey, my eyes are up here." No longer can you even do that if a girl is wearing a hijab.
It takes away all the objectification, any of that.
Yeah, and right there, a woman and a man are at the same level. You're both looking at each other's faces eye to eye, and you can actually have a respectable conversation. There's also studies, because hijab is not just covering your face. Hijab is more than that. Hijab is you cover until your hands, and then you cover until your feet, until your ankles. That's why the whole joke about, your ankles are showing that Americans like to do about Arabs and Muslims. But even then, like if you think about it, men in Islam are supposed to cover until right here, at least, right? And until their ankle also. So it's not like men get to wear whatever.
Wait, so you're supposed to like wear a crop top?
No, at least. Like you should be covering your belly button, knees and knees. So so it's not like men are supposed to be walking around naked and women aren't. Yeah. You guys have done FBLA, right? Remember one of the things that they would teach us is that the more skin you show, the less respect someone has for you.
I remember that.
Yeah, and it would be in business. So that's some of the benefits. I would argue that hijab decreases, and I'm not sure if there's statistics on this, but I would argue this is true. Hijab decreases your chance of getting raped. I think hijab decreases your chance of being sexually assaulted and harassed. Many of the issues, it completely gets rid of body image issues, right? So many of the issues that you find in the Western world with how women are perceiving themselves, actually in 2010, we found that men have been historically more likely to commit suicide than women.
Yeah.
And since 2010, since the creation of Facebook, Instagram, and all these social media outlets, women's suicide rates have increased dramatically and almost catching up to men's, strictly based off of body image issues. Not strictly, I don't want to say that, largely based off of body image issues. And if women are wearing hijabs, that's not the case at all. They're not judging each other. They're not viewing each other. They're not looking down on themselves and others based off of their body and their looks and all this kind of stuff. Hijab solves a lot of the issues that you find in the Western world.
But why would that not be something that we figured out as people that don't make? If I want respect, I want people to value me for the things I say and that stuff. I don't want you to look at my boobs or whatever. So why is that to say that came from some entity that wasn't something that we just figured out?
You're basically saying, well, because it goes against the desire of humanity. It completely goes against what both men and women want. Men want to view women, and women want to dress however they like. So both are not gaining any benefit off of this hijab concept.
Except that now they, like you said, they're able to have productive conversation and they're able to value and respect each other for the content of their character and not the way they look.
Right. So are you saying that women may have manipulated that's the case?
The women benefit and the men benefit by now they have that contribution. I'm not saying...
Right, but it's a hidden benefit. It's not a benefit that's outright. It's a benefit that comes only if you do it. It's kind of like, why should I stop drinking? And then you stop drinking and then the hidden benefits arise. But at first glance, you don't know that if you stop drinking, all the benefits that would happen will happen.
That's true. Except that I think there are benefits to drinking.
There are benefits to drinking, yeah.
And as long as you don't let drinking impact and take away from your other responsibilities and things that you need to do.
I was just giving that as an example. Let's not go all over the place.
Yeah.
So it's that concept that, people saw the benefits to the hijab. Both Christian, Jews, and Muslims saw the benefits of the hijab, and so they implemented it. That's not the case because humans didn't know what the benefit to the hijab would be until the hijab became. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm just saying a lot of the rules and regulations of all the religions, yes, they're very similar, but are they divine laws that were given to us, or are they things that people sat around and figured out, hey, this will benefit us, and this the top thinkers of whenever these religions first came to be sat around and said, what are the ways that we can solve these problems that we have? As of right now, women are meat, and that's their only purpose. How can we prevent that and moving forward allow them to contribute to society in a way that isn't just raising children and producing children? Everybody's just getting drunk all the time, and we're not doing anything. We're
so
just
you
getting
think
drunk.
that a group of uberly pious good men sat down?
I don't know. I'm saying I don't know, but I'm saying that they are things that if somebody sat around and thought for a long time, maybe could figure out. And it is peculiar that all the religions started in different areas of the world around relatively similar times and all have similar rule sets.
No, they're not around. The difference between Jesus and Muhammad is like 1,000 years.
Okay.
Or 600 years. The difference between Jesus and Moses is like 2,000 years.
But that they all, regardless of time, they all started in different areas of the world and all had similar rule sets. So
doesn't that kind of speak volumes? that they're all in completely like hundreds or thousands of years apart, different people, different times, different cultures, different centuries, and yet
So then